We're going to look at budget preparation now. Who prepares budgets and how often they are prepared varies with the size of the organization and the type of budget being prepared. Question is asked, who prepares the budgets? In a small, unoperated restaurant or motel, the owner would prepare the budget. If it were a formal or written budget, the help of an accountant might be useful. If the budget were an informal one, there might be no written supporting figures. The owner might just have a mental plan about where he or she wants to go and operates from day to day to achieve the objective or to come as close to it as possible. Budgets are also a record for future budgeting and other planning. In a larger organization, many individuals might be involved in budget preparation. In such organizations, budgets are prepared from bottom up. At the very least, the budget heads or managers must be involved. If their subsequent performance is evaluated and the plans included in the budget, then they should be involved in preparing their own departmental budgets. They in turn might discuss the budget figures with employees in their own department. So is what the budgets are prepared from what bottom up, meaning from department up to the management level. Above the department heads should be a budget committee. Department managers might be members of this committee. Such a committee is required to coordinate the budget to ensure that the final budget package is meaningful. For example, the room's occupancy of a hotel determines to a great extent the breakfast revenue for the food department. The budget committee must ensure that the breakfast food sales are not based on an occupancy that differs from what the rooms department figure. Why? Because yeah, making breakfast for each person in the hotel, who each gets in the hotel, right? So you're making based on the amount of persons in different rooms. Psycho. So so, the, so therefore, reiterating the committee is required to what coordinate the budget to ensure that what the final budget package is what meaningful. For example, the rooms occupancy of a hotel determines what to a great extent the breakfast revenue for the what food department. The budget committee must ensure that the breakfast food sales are not based on occupancy that differs from what rooms department figure. Meaning, if you have 70% occupancy, you must have 70% breakfast. So if you have 70 guests, you must have 70 different breakfast or more, 100, right? The formal preparation of the budget is a function of the accounting department. The organization is the the organize the the organization's comptroller would probably be a member of the budget committee, and these are our task is to prepare final budget information for submission to the general manager for approval. When our budget prepares, next question. Each year, top management generally prepares long range budgets for up to 5 years. They may or may not involve department managers. Each year, such budgets are revised for next period up to 5 years forward. For coordination, the budget committee would be what involved. Short-term budgets now are prepared annually, for the most part with monthly projections. Each month, budgets for the remaining months of the year should be revised to adjust for any changed circumstances. Department managers should be involved in such revisions, and the budget committee should be involved for what? Overall coordination. Now, so remember, I said that long-term budgets are prepared what? For 5 years, short-term for what? 1 year. Are they? The department managers or other supervisory staff usually handle weekly or daily short range budgets internally. For example, the housekeeping supervisor would schedule housekeepers, which affects the period budget on a daily basis based on the what? Anticipated rooms occupancy. Alright? I look at advantages now of budgeting. A number of advantages is accrue to an organization. To an to an organization that uses a budget planning process. That means there are a number of advantages that comes to an organization when they do budgeting. First advantage is that since the budgeting process involves department heads, possibly other staff within the department, it encourages their participation and thus improves what communication and motivation. Therefore, these operating personnel can better identify with the plans or objectives of the what organization. All right. Next one. In preparing the budget, those involved are required to consider the alternative courses of action. For example, should the advertising budget be spent to promote the organization as a whole, or would better results be obtained if emphasis were placed more on particular department? At the department level, a restaurant manager might consider increasing the number of customers to be served per meal period per server, which will increase productivity per server against the possible effects of slower service, reduced seat turnover, and what perhaps lower total sales revenue. All right. So in preparing the budget, those involved are required to what consider what a little courses of what action. Next one, budgets outlined in advance the sales revenue to be achieved and the costs involved in what achieving these revenues. After each budget period, the actual results can be compared with the budget. In other words, a standard for comparison is predetermined and subsequent evaluation of all those involved in the operation is possible. In the case of flexible budgets, the organization as a whole and each department within it are prepared for adjustments to any level of activity between high and low sales level. Budgeting forces those involved to be forward think looking. For example, do our menu item selling prices need to be changed to take care of anticipated future increases in food, labor, and other operating costs? However, this is not to suggest that what happened in the past is not what important and not to be considered in budget preparation. Next one, budgeting requires those involved to consider both what internal and external factors. Internal factors include such much as what seating capacity, seat turnover, and menu prices in a restaurant, and rooms available, rooms occupancy, and room rates in a hotel. External factors include such as what competition, the local economic environment in which the business operates, and the what general inflation rate trend. That's it. Those are the advantages of budgeting. We look at the disadvantages now of budgeting. Obviously, just as there are advantages of budgeting, so too are there disadvantages. Right. First one is the time and cost to prepare budgets can be what considerable. Usually, the larger the organization, the greater is the amount of time, and thus the cost of preparing budgets. Next one, budgets are based on unknown factors, as well as known factors, that can have a major impact on what does actually happen. It could be argued that this is not a disadvantage because it forces those involved to look ahead and prepare for the unknown. Budget preparation may require that confidential information can be included in the budget. However, if confidential information is included, it may not remain what confidential. These facts. The spending, the spending to the budget approach can be a problem. If an expense budget is overestimated, there can be a tendency to find ways to spend the money still in the budget as the end of the budget period arrives. Which is right. Many companies do that. Meaning the money is there, The money was supposed to be used for something else, but it wasn't used for that. But you want to finish the budget money. Right? This tendency can be provoked by a desire to demonstrate that the budget forecast was correct to begin with and to protect the budget from being what cut for the next period. So then finish the money just because they don't want make sure say the next period they don't cut the budget anytime because if the if the money goes back into the kitty, it will show that what they, because you spend limited amount, the money can be cut, which as a manager you don't want it to happen as a departmental manager. All right. In most cases, though, advantages far outweigh what disadvantages. Thank you very much for watching.